You spent a lot of empty nights inside that gym in Colorado. Who was motivating you to train like you did? I mean, you didn't have training partners. What enticed you to go in there so late every night and push yourself?
Who I look up to? I looked up to you. You train late too. If I came out here, there was times we'd go to freaking Decatur and we'd be training late, you know? Being by myself, there was times where I would train angry and then I would actually have the music not playing. And that was tough, but it also allowed me to feel what I was going through emotionally.
My question to you is how bad do you really want legs?
It's the last 1 or 2 reps that your body's not used to that you're going to get a response. Your body's not going to change without a good reason to change. So you've got to give it something it's not used to. That last rep that you didn't do last week or a little bit more weight. Always got to try to be progressive. If you do the same thing day in, day out, you're not going to get anywhere. Your body doesn't change for no reason.
Nobody wants to do what it takes, that's all. Everybody wants good body, good legs, but nobody wants to train hard. Doesn't even mean it takes big weights. It takes intensity. Intensity is your friend. Intensity is the devil and God put together. You gotta go there. You have to go there. If you don't go there, nothing happens in life.
You've got to break the gravitational hold. That's what you got to do. And the way you do that is through action. The way you do that is by starting. You got to get to the gym. You got to get on the road and start that road work. You got to lift those weights. You have to go and initiate action. That's what you have to do. You have to break that gravitational pull. Go. Start. Go. Take action.
I don't care, George. Hey, look at me. This is where champions are made. You understand me? Yeah. Nothing matters now. Hit him with your groin.
Oh, baby. I feel so sorry for you that you forgot your headphone. Stop being a girly man and work out.
He booked me for 2 fights.
But you got to address it, Mike.
I did address it. I addressed it in the ring.
Why did you do that, though, Mike? The proper response?
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I got to go home and my kids are going to be scared of me. Look at me, man.
You know what I did? Is I imagined you were 100 times the size that you were when I was training for you. You have no idea the kind of person I am and what you're dealing with, dude. You can talk as much as you want, but at the end of the day, I'm going to TF you, and that's technical fault. That's a Tony Ferguson fucking finish. You're done, son.
Michael Jordan, with all due respect, is kind of mentally ill. He's obsessed with winning to the point where he's an asshole. He'll tell you, like, you just don't want to win enough. And he's right. Like, you beat him in a game of pool, he won't talk to you for weeks. I've met people like that before. Like, they have to win at everything. They're just winners. They're obsessed with that goal of winning.
Everybody talks about the will to win, and I can't stand the phrase. Everybody wants to win. That should never be your question. The question is, what are you willing to do? How hard are you willing to embrace the grind? How hard are you willing to embrace the suck?
It's raining outside, it's cold, it's gloomy. There's every reason to not be excited. But guess what, baby? We are excited. We're fucking motivated. We're dangerous and disciplined. We have a new week in front of us. A new week to chase after every fucking dream we want. A new week!
Your standard has to live inside of you. It has to be in your heart, it has to be in your blood, and it has to be in your soul, and it has to be the way that you live. You cannot live any other way if you want to be great. It's about how you move when no one's watching. It's about how you work when you're not going to get applause.
I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, because it's about 75% of you is still fucking in there. Still chained up because you just didn't want to find your willpower. You didn't want to find your soul, your will, your heart, your determination, your guts, your courage.
Winners, they need to finish everything that they started at the highest level. Man, you can do this tomorrow. We don't see tomorrow. We see the moment now. And we know we have to finish at the highest level, because if we're fortunate enough to have tomorrow, there's more things that need to be finished.
They told me before the fight that no one was able to knock him down. But when I was watching his fights, I was talking to my team and I'm like, what an opportunity. Because I know that I'm gonna knock him out. I know that it's gonna happen. I see it.
Don't you quit on your dream. You're stronger than you think you are. You're tougher than you think you are. You can go through more than you think you can. It doesn't matter how many times you've been rejected. It doesn't matter how many defeats you've faced. It doesn't matter how much heartache and pain you've gone through. If you can keep moving forward, you will find a way.
Be what it is you claim to be about. Be what it is you truly want to be. If you truly want to be successful, if you truly want to change your life, if you truly want to lose 50, 100, 200, 500 pounds, be about it today. And then when today's over, be about it tomorrow.
What does it take to win that championship that you guys are talking about? Do you know what it takes? I've won quite a few. As a matter of fact, I've won one on every level. On every level. I'll tell you what it takes. It takes men. It takes real men, because it's going to take process before you get to the prize. Process is to what you're going through right now.
The mind's a medieval motherfucker. It's constantly fighting against you. It's the only thing in the history of the fucking world that shows up on time every time.
I felt like I was either going to make it big or I was going to be a complete loser. And that was just how I perceived myself. Not that that was the truth or the case at all.
The gym is too busy. But then go at 5 in the morning, you forehead. Have you ever seen the gym at 5 in the morning? There's almost no one there. So just get up early and go to the gym early.
Never let someone tell you cannot do it, or the town you're from is nobody's, or you're not gonna ever be able to get there because you don't have the height, you don't have the speed, you don't have the stuff.
A man without discipline is a man owned by the world. Epictetus believed that freedom is not doing what you want. It's the power to say no to what you shouldn't. A man who cannot master his impulses is a servant to pleasure, to lust, to distraction.
If you make a bad decision in the morning and you decide you're not going to get out of bed, you decide you're not going to work out, when you get to the office, the donuts are that much more tempting and you're probably going to eat one. Whereas if you woke up early, you worked out, you got a little bit of work done before you even showed up to work, you show up to work and now there's donuts, you're like, I don't need those right now. You just make better decisions.
Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not gonna work out today, or forget it, I'm not gonna work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life. So today's another day that I'm faced with another choice to make. So I'm making the choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get after it again.
Goggins. He just sent me a text message yesterday about how he climbed Mount Everest with his Versa climber. Do you know what a Versa climber is?
No. What?
They're horrible. That thing.
Whoa.
This motherfucker climbed Mount Everest.
How many days? That would take him days, right?
No. He'll do it in one session.
I want to introduce y'all to this very simple concept. That if you want it, you gotta go get it. Some of y'all got this concept of what you want to accomplish. You know, some of y'all are motivated by just wanting to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Other folks are motivated by materialistic things. It's a very simple concept. If you want it, you gotta go get it.
To be in the master, you have to be the idiot first.
Right.
You can't be the master while being an idiot. You can't be a master and become a master. You have to make the mistakes to become a master.
100%. You have to be a fool. If you're not a fool, you're not learning.
And every single one of you can relate to this, because this is what's difficult about failure. The disappointment is on you. It is your fault, and you go through failure alone.
Fuck the ordinary. Silence the voice trying to drag you down. Kill the whispers of comforts, the false satisfaction, the thoughts of you quitting. No one ever became great by trying to be normal.
You lost that fight, Rock, for all the wrong reasons. You lost your edge. All right, I know your manager dying had you all messed up inside. But the truth is, you didn't look hungry. Now, when we fought, you had that eye of the tiger, the edge. And now you got to get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean?
Maybe we could win it back together. I kind of forgot the existence of the winter arc. Like fucking clockwork. End of the year comes around. Guys, 3 months left. Let's make this shit fucking happen. And I'm like, okay, what happened to the other 9 months? Guys who are a bit more locked in already are kind of dogging on everybody where they're like, okay, winter arc, now let's start to lock in.
I think people say, okay, discipline's when you're not motivated, you do it anyways. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and it goes. No, motivation exists every waking moment of our lives. Because if it didn't, you would want to kill yourself. You'd want to die.
God's been hitting your line all summer, and you've been ignoring the call. Yet you're sitting here questioning why you're not where you want to be. Well, newsflash, my boy. When talking to God, it's a two-way street. What good are prayers when they're backed up by empty promises? God values those who are true to their words and their actions.
I'm too busy for gossip. I'm too busy to have an opinion on everything. I'm too busy for your take on what I'm doing. I'm too busy building the future version of me. I'm focused on me.
The reason that you are so upset is because you imagine that if you can just optimize everything, if you can just do these steps, like you're gonna reach a point where you don't have to suffer anymore. No, you're gonna have to freaking suffer, man. Like, just accept that this life sucks sometimes. And it makes everything so much easier. It's a huge lesson for me.
And they say things like, hey, when you say, hey, how's it going? And they say real sarcastically, oh, living the dream. And they have this thought track and this talk track that continues to attract negativity into their life over and over and over again. And I firmly believe this is why those people can never break out of that cycle. And I don't think it's hocus pocus. I think there's metaphysical, quantum physical realities.
They don't realize it. They're just caught in this weird trap because we have this undefined new modality of communication, this social media modality, this new thing, this new device that you have that interacts with your brain, and oftentimes a very negative way.
My story from 2 million to 4 billion sounds awesome up here on stage, but the last 20 years I've been grinding. Good things happen, bad things happen. We were losing lots of money at one point. We took some shots and we made it work. You know, you have to get up and you have to keep fighting.
My favorite part about training is then when the training is over and it's time to fight, and I know I'm in supreme shape and there's no one's gonna beat me. Then after the fight's over and I'm victorious, I say, wow, I'm gonna do this next time. I'm gonna train harder.
You work mentally when you go on court every day and you don't complain. When you play bad, when you have problems, when you have pains, you go on court every day with the passion to keep practicing. That's the mental work.
I don't have enough time, which of course is the biggest bullshit I've ever had. Because we have 24 hours a day. You don't have time for working out. You're not having time for taking care of your body. Are you out of your mind? I mean, you sleep 6 hours a day. You have 18 hours left. You work 10 hours, so you still have 8 hours left. So what happened? You don't have time?
If gains are something you're serious about, then the drinking is a complete antagonist to what those goals are. I want to make some crazy ass gains. I don't want to do anything to hinder that performance.
You know I quit drinking.
I quit too.
When?
A month ago.
I knew that you weren't drinking.
Yeah,
but I didn't know.
Stop drinking.
I didn't know that it was a.
Yeah, I think I'm done for no reason other than it's not good for you. And I'm like, what kind of a moron who takes so good care of his body is poisoning himself a couple of days a week for fun? Why am I doing that? And then I'm like, well, will I have the same amount of fun if I don't poison myself? Turns out, yes.
No one can make you happy but you. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Your life is your responsibility. Everything that you're doing in your life right now is because of your freaking mind, the way that you think. You are the gatekeeper to your mind.
The story goes, this kid shows up and he wants to be a SEAL, and they basically say, well, you need to swim, 50 meters. And he's like, okay. The kid jumps in the pool and sinks right to the bottom and starts walking across the bottom of the pool to one end and then walks across the bottom of the pool back to the other. And he comes up and he's gasping for air, nearly drowning. And the instructor looks at him and says, what the hell are you doing? And the kid, who's still gasping his breath, looks at the instructor and says, I'm sorry, instructor, I don't know how to swim. And the instructor pauses for a second, looks at the kid, says, that's okay, we can teach you how to swim, right? And it's because the instructor knew if this kid had the attributes, the balls, that's one, I guess that could be an attribute, right? But to show up to Navy SEAL training, not knowing how to swim, teaching him to swim, the skill was going to be the easy part, right?
So a lot of people will say that you need to do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. And look, I get it. From a long-term life perspective, yeah, fine. That is not the plan to follow for your daily life at all. Because if you do what makes you happy right now, well, a piece of cake will make you happy right now. Or laying in bed for an extra 48 minutes will make you happy right now. So there's lots of things that'll make you happy right now, but in the long run, they don't do anything for you. They make you soft. They make you weak. And in the long run, they will not make you happy in life.
Listen to me. You can have the style, the shoes, the new phone. But in here, none of that matters. In the gym, the weights don't lie. You lift them or you don't. You show up or you stay weak. Muscles don't care about your excuses. They only care about pressure.
Few are born with it. Most of us have to build it. Built by early mornings, empty roads, exhausting sessions, and hard work that feels unrewarding. But that voice inside that says do it anyway, because we trust that eventually the reward will come from showing up when it's the last thing that you feel like doing, because feelings don't dictate your actions when you're driven, and success when others are watching comes from discipline when no one's watching.
Everybody talks about genetics being a limiting factor. You have to take GH and you can't compete with the big guys. I'm too small and I'm too weak. There's no such thing as not having enough in you. If you've got enough in your attitude, you can do anything. You gotta go the distance.
Every single day, man, getting up, and as cliche as it sounds, when you tell a person, hey man, don't take life for granted, right? And I kinda hear it go in one ear, go out the other. But bro, one of the most underrated blessings is leaving your house and making it back home every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an underrated blessing that we just assume it's gonna happen.
Gratitude is a big part of it, right? Which is to just be grateful for what you have. Like, what if everybody's chasing some sort of finish line. But what if you, just today, just made the decision, because they're all decisions, I've already won.
The two emotions that screw people up the most are anger and fear. When you're afraid, you don't do what you need to do. When you're angry, it just shuts you down. And the antidote is one emotion, and that's gratitude, as corny as it sounds, because you can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. You can't be fearful and grateful simultaneously.
And I genuinely believe that's the reason why so many people run. Because when we get out there and move, we're telling ourselves, you know what? I can do hard things. And whatever life throws at me next, I'll be ready for it. Because just like life, running can be traumatic, painful. But when we push past that pain and keep going, we become unstoppable in all areas of our life, no matter who we are and where we came from.
I don't give a fuck what you think, I don't care what you think about me. I had come from an environment with very little cheerleading going on. And so I created a sort of survival instinct where I would cut people out, and minimize opinions. And the way that I would do that is I had to believe that my opinion was greater than everybody else's opinion around me.
Getting older is the best. As long as you train with weights 3 times a week, run 3 times a week, long, medium, and short runs, and you take a cold shower and you eat mostly unprocessed and minimally processed foods, and you try and get sleep, and you limit your alcohol, and you deal with any addictions you might have, and you work on your traumas, you're gonna have a great freaking life. You're gonna be healthier than 90% of people in the world.
The average real man does not need to go get therapy for the battles and the burdens he's carried inside. What he needs is for those that he's carrying them for to recognize that they're there.
Success really just boils down to this. You gotta want it more than you hate what it takes to get it. If you're willing to suck at anything for 100 days in a row, you can beat most people at most things.
You do it by showing up every day, regardless of how you feel, you do it anyways. That's how you win the game of life, with the mentality of I do it anyways.
If you're an extraordinarily compassionate person, let's say, 98th percentile, let's say, you're going to be sacrificing yourself to other people all the time. And there are people who will find that extraordinarily endearing. And it will be under some circumstances, but the problem is that you will sacrifice yourself. And that's a really bad attitude to have.
At its core, suffering is a very beautiful thing. A lot of people might overlook that, and with good reason. I understand why. Someone might have passed away in your family. You might have lost your house, you might have lost your job, might have gotten your heart broken, cheated on, all that. And I understand. You're like, why would suffering ever be a beautiful thing? Suffering is the absolute only path to glory. It is the only way that you would ever appreciate a win.
Everyone's going to have disappointments. Everyone's going to have challenges. Everyone's going to have problems. Everyone's going to have things that you're not ready for. The one thing everyone in this room is going to experience, no matter how smart you are, no matter rich you are, no matter how spirit you are, no matter how much of an achiever you are, is everyone's going to have extreme pain at times.
The most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why.
There's a quote from Viktor Frankl that says, when a man can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure.
She ain't thinking about you, bro. And she never was. You think all this newfound success, that hard work, getting in the gym, getting your money right, you thought that would bring her back, huh? Newsflash, my boy. You doing this shit for the wrong reason. This was never about her, bro. It's almost like you can't even believe it. that no matter how hard you worked up until this point, somebody's still gonna reject you.
Found out that your worst enemy is you and your ability to stay true to the thing that you want to do. If you lie to yourself and cheat yourself, well then you're not fooling anybody but yourself. But if you actually get up every day and you got that action, you got that energy that's like, I have to go and do this because I'm trying to get here. And you know every day you're working towards that, well, you're gonna get there.
It doesn't make sense to continue wanting something if you're not willing to do what it takes to get it. If you don't want to live the lifestyle, then release yourself from the desire.
Life is about loss. As time goes on, we lose fights, we lose people we love, we lose our hair, and then we lose our life. You know? It's all a loss. But by these losses, from all these losses, we learn so much, and all the experiences that we learn is just it's inconceivable. It's just beautiful. Life is beautiful. Even at its worst, it's beautiful.
The athlete who lacks genetic potential but gets 8 hours of sleep every night, eats well, and shows up at the gym on a daily basis will lap the genetic freak who shows up twice a week. Do what works every day until you are great, then keep doing it.
You can miss technically, but I hate to miss mentally.
It happens in the body. It happens through movement and intensity and emotion, because that's how your nervous system knows something is real. This is something that I teach every elite performer that I work with, from Olympic athletes to $100 million entrepreneurs. They all, at this point, understand this. Words without chemistry don't stick.
What if there was a success auditor that literally kept track of all the things that you tried in life, knows every one of your failures, as you think is failures, but what if it was part of the journey? What if it wasn't failures?
If you leave that little thing, if you leave that little dream that you have smoldering and you just give up on it, I can guarantee that by the time it's too late for you to really get into it, you are gonna regret it. That doesn't have to be the gym. That can be fucking any endeavor that you really want to get into.
And don't really let anybody take away that dream from you. Nurture it, water it like you water the flowers. Even if you find only one person in this world that will embrace and support your dreams, find that person and dream big, because you can make it.
Me, myself, I used to always think for some reason that I was a coward. I was afraid because of the way I felt.
And then once I become average again, these people out here who don't like me, they're now in here. They now own space. They're renting space in my head because I've lost the edge. The edge comes from the finger on the trigger at all times until the breath is gone out of my body.
It's just you need to get rid of those fantasies that better times are going to come. If we don't create the better times, nothing's gonna happen.
The most important thing, number one, is you gotta get rid of doubt. If you got doubt in what you're doing, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And the way to do that is you have a plan. When you got a plan, it's not like just a pipe dream. You have a step-by-step list of things to do to get to your goal.
Because we care so much about what people think of us and what they say about us. Most of the time it's people that we would never ask for advice from. And it's hard to wrap your mind around that because we, at our core, we want to be seen and understood. We also want to be liked.
Yep.
You know, we want to be like, we want to be liked. We don't want to be like polarizing, figure who is labeled all these crazy things.
I was always driven. As long as I felt like I was getting somewhere, I was happy. And if you took it all away from me now, I would start to make progress again. If I lost everything today back to flat zero, by tomorrow I'd be making some progress, even if I had 1 pound as opposed to 0. As long as I feel like I'm doing something, I'm happy. This is how life works.
It's not about being the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Every day is a chance to grow, even in small ways. Focus on your progress, not perfection. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, because they mean you're moving forward.
Kaizen principle, the principle of continuous betterment, is getting a little bit better every day. So I asked the question, if you could increase your productivity, performance, and output by 0.1% per day, could you do that? Could you increase your productivity, performance, and output by 1/1000th in a day? And the answer is, of course.
recovery. I always believe in training hard, real stupid, brutal hard, and resting extremely hard as well. You gotta train hard, you gotta rest hard. People didn't understand. They never talked about that in the magazines in the 80s. All they talked about was training hard. People thought I did that every day. I would squat twice a month. At my very best, that's all I squat. Imagine doing 50 reps, with 405 pounds. Your nervous system is fried. I'd leave the gym going, maybe in 10 days, I might start thinking about squatting again.
If you want to achieve more than the average person, then you would likely have to work more than the average person. It's like you cannot expect an exceptional outcome and then not expect to be an exception.
And so when I speak to, just the pain and regret, the price of discipline, I firmly believe when you give everything you got to something, right? I'm talking about blood, sweat, and tears, everything you got to something, right? The peace in that is not the result or the reward. The peace is the fact that I gave everything I had to it because this is who I am.
Because of the fact that he was born with this one hand that didn't have fingers, he developed a style of jiu-jitsu where he utilizes that left hand to get under chins because it's not encumbered by
the other fingers aren't in the way.
Fingers. And he slides it in there and sinks rear naked chokes on people. And he also developed a style that didn't rely on grips.
Why we don't believe that we can do it better? We have to believe, we have to be positive.
Believe. I think you should believe in everything.
To try to change the things.
And of course, the rest, it's the dedication, the hard work.
You have to implant that in your mind that we are capable to change things.
And believe in your talents. I think it's the main point.
It's different when you live it, right? It's like certain cats that quote scripture than other cats that live it. It's different when you live it. It's different when you live that Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. It's different when you live that Romans 8:28 when it says, and we know that all things work to the good of those who love the Lord, who are called according to his will and his purpose. It's different when you live it.
40 years from now, you would trade every dollar in your bank account to be exactly where you are right now. Every single dollar, every achievement, everything that you own to be back in this moment at the age that you currently are.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, it's complete because I completed, all the achievements with this gold medal, but no, because, I love this sport. I don't play it only to win the tournament, I play it because I really love competition. I love the drive every day, every week of training my body, perfecting my game, improving myself still at this age. This sport has given me so much in my life.
There is nothing more important than getting people out of your life. They want to pretend you're the person you were yesterday. They want to act like you're the person you were yesterday. You're evolving, you're growing, you're advancing. You need to be focused on you right now, and anybody that wants to bring you back, anybody that wants to pretend you are the same person that they knew 1, 2, 6, 7 years ago, get them the hell out of your life.
By nature, most people are resilient.
Yep.
Like most people encounter a hard time, most people are resilient and they gonna get through it or get over it or get by it. But the challenge is for most people, when they get by the obstacle, when they get by the opposition, adversity, most people go back to the same habits, the same place, or the same behavior.
You're able to transfer everything you've got into the next phase of life. That's what coaches are talking about. They're here to coach your character and your skill set. That's it. If you do not go all out, you'll have to learn later. And often later is too late. You have an opportunity to see what you can do.
You're a goal-focused dude. You said, I got these goals. And man, when I hit them and pass them, I just set another goal for myself. If one of your main goals is happiness, and you don't know what happiness is, how the heck are you gonna achieve happiness?
Negative people ruin your life. There was a study that was done in 2006 called the Bad Apple Effect, where they took a group of 5 people and randomly added a negative person to some of the groups to see how it would affect the groups while working on tasks. Groups with 1 negative person did 40% worse on all of their tasks, and the quality of their work decreased by 25%.
Strong people own their shit. Weak people blame everyone but themselves. Strong people seek growth. Weak people seek comfort. Strong people can be alone. Weak people chase attention to avoid dealing with themselves. Strong people will say no even when it's difficult to say no. Weak people will say yes and then resent you for it.
If you put that time to it, or you dedicate, you sacrifice that little, all them distractions,
you'll see some type of success. And people don't understand that. They rather see you get successful and then be mad at it or be wondering, well, why that's him and not me? You ain't did nothing. It's about the life you create. And I wanted to be busy. You know what I mean? I'd much rather be busy than be sitting back watching busy people.
My experience, you spend a lot of time thinking about the pain from your past. Well, probably not a good thing. Most people don't handle it well.
You cannot make everybody happy every day. That's not possible. But we can try our best, and that's what we really do. That we really prepare ourselves to be in the best shape we can be, and then see it as it is. It's a game. In a game, unfortunately, you can lose. But you know that before the game, so you can try everything to win it, and that's what we do.
Most men chase success from a place of scarcity. They think being hungry is the key, but hunger without belief, that's just desperation. And desperation repels the very thing you're trying to attract, because energy is reciprocal, and the fastest way to get what you want is to stop needing it. Abundance is a mindset, and every outcome begins with how you carry yourself before the reward shows up.
The thing that I realized when I was in my late 20s is that, oh gosh, if I don't get my stuff together, I'm not going to fulfill my potential as a human being. And I think that started a path that I just, every day I wake up and I try to be present.
This is such BS. All the training and sacrifice just flew out of the window with one step that I've done millions of times. The frustration is unbearable. The anger is rage. Why the hell did this happen? Makes no damn sense. Now I'm supposed to come back from this and be the same player or better at 35? How in the world am I supposed to do that? I have no clue. Do I have the consistent will to overcome this thing? Maybe I should break out of this rocking chair and reminisce on the career that was. Maybe this is how my book ends. Maybe Father Time has defeated me. Then again, maybe not.
I thought about my children. I watched the baby cry another day, and my wife was late giving the baby milk, and the baby raised hell. And I looked at about 6 more coming, and I said, 10 years from now, we'll be fighting. 10 years from now, that baby will just be 10 years old. And I'll need money. He'll need school books. He'll need clothes, bus fare. And then 20 years from now, my daughter need a house or she'll need a job. And it'll be shame to say, Muhammad Ali's daughter, a waitress in a restaurant. He made all of those millions. Oh, there's his son over there. What I'm trying to say, I can earn enough money in 5 years if I invest it and put it up right to take care of my grandchildren.